All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to talk to my friend and my colleague. Her name is Carolyn Erickson. She is from the West Coast. So right now it's morning for her and it's afternoon, it's lunchtime for me. So Carolyn Erickson she wears many, many hats like a lot of us. I met Carolyn about 5 years ago when I started with Bar Above under the Xavier Fitness format. I thought she was the coolest badass, mostly because one, she was beautiful, two, she was tough, and three, I thought she had a tattoo on her neck. I was like, this girl has a tattoo on her neck. How badass is she? And then later on, she was like, Linda, it's a necklace.
It's a joker.
But she's still totally badass. So I'm going to introduce you to Carolyn Erickson, which you can already see her. And Carolyn, tell me about yourself and tell me about what you have done in the fitness industry. You have CE Fitness Consulting. She's done a lot of different things in the fitness industry, which I'm going to have her tell you about. But what I'm most excited about is that she is the creator of Extreme HIIT Chaos. If you're one of my clients, you know that it's one of my favorite formats to teach. I am also a program specialist for this company. So if you are an instructor looking to get certified, come see me. We are opening up workshops in 2022 in person. So without further ado, Carolyn Erickson, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Linda. My pleasure, for sure. Thank you so much. Gosh, how much time do we have? I've been in the industry for 37 years, so it's a long time. I've done a lot.
Right. No, I know that. And so the thing is, how did you get started in fitness? And just for full disclosure, Carolyn has been in the industry. I like to say that I've been in the industry over 25 years, but I've actually been in the industry over 30 years. I started late 80s. When did you start and how did you start out?
Yeah, I got certified in 86. So I've had my American Council on Exercise certification since then. So it was merely an accident. I mean, back when I was in college, I went to the University of Maryland because I am from Pennsylvania and now live in San Diego. I went in with the intention of business, economics. I was like, well, sitting in these huge classes of 300 plus people and going, what's happening? But I was a gymnast. So for gymnastics, we had to weight train and I had to stay in shape, make my weight every single week. And so I started implementing classes into my curriculum to help me with gymnastics. And I ended up going, what is this? I can do this. I like this. And I literally, at the time, which was 82 to 86, you were allowed to create your own curriculum. You submitted a curriculum and they approved it. And it was awesome. So I have a general studies degree with an emphasis in health, nutrition, and PE. And honestly, it's the best best decision I ever made, because I really haven't looked back after that. So I have been in the industry for a long time and most recently started my own company. Most of my background is running, overseeing lots of clubs. I ran 16 clubs for 24-hour fitness. After being laid off at 50, I was like, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I'm still deciding, 57, but I went to work for Jillian Michaels, which was amazing. She's a tough cookie. I loved every piece of it. She respected my knowledge and experience in the industry as she wrote a program and was trying to disseminate it out to instructors, which is not her norm, right? She normally focuses on the consumer side. So I did that for a while. And then Patricia Murphy-Madden wooed me off my feet and I came into Xavier, but I opened my own company at the same time. So I've had a CE Fitness Consulting for at least 5 years and still do a lot of different things. So right now I'm coming to you from EOS Fitness in my office. I work as their National Kids Club Programming Director. So I do that as well as Xavier, which Xavier falls under the umbrella of my own company. Which I do a lot of consulting, a lot of projects on the side, writing educational manuals for programs and products, and just honestly, whatever I get my hands on. So that's what I do.
Tell me more about the sales, because that's what I was struck by also. The first time that I saw you present at one of our Xavier conferences, it was a lot about sales. So, and I feel like, especially in this world of everyone is selling something, everyone is hustling. How did you sort of develop your sales technique, and not in a bad way, like sales is something we all do, but some of us are better at it. And I feel like you're really good at sales without coming off salesy.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say, because at one point in my career as a district manager, I did get you can't sell anything. And I was like, so that kind of sticks with me. He was a bad person, but anyway, I don't consider myself a salesperson at all, simply because I'm a really good relationship builder. I honestly, you have a dog, I have a dog, right? We talk about the dog, and that's how I sell memberships at clubs. That's how I sell personal training. My relativity is where that comes into play. It's not really, I really even hate the word sales, right? And here I am, a national sales education director. I mean, sales is all over all of my titles, yet it's not even a strategy. It's literally listening, being a really good listener and getting to know somebody. That's it. Like, and then it works, right? So, but usually by the end of a call, I'm calling you my BFF or, hey girl, like it's just really, it's on a level that's not salesy. It just works for me.
It's authentic. It's authentic.
Thank you.
I actually say that my husband is a business owner also, and the reason he is successful is that he has developed real, authentic relationships with his clients, and that's what it's all about. And I think myself as well. When I'm trying to get somebody to book a workshop, I'm just letting them know that it would be good for their club. I ask them what type of instructor they are, if it's an instructor trying to decide what format to teach. And then I think I'm pretty authentic, whether this is a good fit for you or not. Our authenticity is all we have, right? So I love that. I think I love that you say it's all about relationships, especially when people have dogs, I can connect to them.
It's literally anything, right? Oh, I love the color red. Like I could say, but I mean it. Like, you know what I mean? Because I am a person that compliments a lot anyway. And so like, that's the thing. Like I'll be in line at the grocery store. I'm like, I love those shoes. Where did you get those? Like, it's just one of those things, right? So I'm not shy, put it that way.
Right. No, you're not shy. You're very outgoing. And I think that demystifies it for people, or it lets people's guard down. They feel very comfortable asking you questions, and that's why you're good at sales, even though I hate the word sales too. So, okay. So when we first jumped on the call, you were telling me that you just did some PowerPoint for nutrition. And I love how that ties in, because even for yourself, so you've worked in the industry, but you've actually competed in some fitness competitions as well. And I had that picture before. So tell me about sort of your own fitness journey and sort of the nutrition part, and how that all ties in, and how that ties into what you do now with CE Fitness Consulting.
Okay. Well, I had the opportunity to speak to a lunch and learn on a Zoom, right? Because that's what we do.
Everything is Zoom.
Everything is Zoom. And there's good filters. Just kidding. I don't even know how to use the filters. Anyway, I got on the call and I literally congratulated them, because I was like, nutrition might be the most difficult subject that you could talk about in less than an hour. So let me go for it. I said it was such a challenge, and I appreciated the challenge to speak with the consumer, because even as a professional, a fitness professional, like nutrition is so hard to understand, and it's a science, but it's also different things work for different people. So it's evolving, and it's ever changing. And so I was like, this is a calorie. These are your micronutrients. I had to start from square one, which was really hard for me to back up and make it deliverable. So I appreciated that piece, right? And also it just reminds me that that's still my passion, right?
Right.
So always go back to the basics of stuff like that. And nutrition is where it started for me. So so that's one piece. And then the whole competition piece, I think, was just, honestly, I think it was a midlife crisis that started when I was 50. I did compete.
You did that when you were 50?
I did. I did. I had 4 years of competition, and it was, I don't know, something that was always like, I should probably try that, right? Like check off the box. And I really enjoyed it. Like it was, I'm very competitive with myself anyways. But what was really cool, and I think the thing that I learned most about it, is how much your body can change once you fuel it right? If you use food is fuel versus just eat to eat. That's so different, right? Like, taste is different. Senses are just overactive, things like that. But just the amount that my body had changed in a short amount of time. I regularly, and you know me, Linda, I regularly stay just within a couple of pounds of my competition weight. So I'm not like when someone who's off season looks like 25 pounds heavier. I'm not that person.
Right.
There's a lot of people that do that. I cannot imagine. I kind of make good choices. I eat what I want, but I make good choices in general. But the dieting piece was tough because I remember in one of those years that I competed, I had traveled all 9 weeks of prep, and I had to book hotels with you know, kitchens in them, and carried my food and would find the first grocery store. It was a lot more than just being able to food prep at home, man. The commitment, right? I was like, I'm not going to be that girl on stage with the butt dimples. I'm not doing it. So like, I would just have this goal, right? Like I wasn't, and it really paid off. I mean, it only took me 8 to 9 weeks of prep, which some people will prep 6 months. Some people will prep 3 months, right? So I had quick prep, but and I was my own coach for my workouts, sort of, so to speak. But I do feel like I hired a coach because I did need another set of eyes. Competition wasn't my training, right? Like I don't know what to do when it's a week out. How do you peak week? How do you prep for that? You're drinking literally a cap full of water like the day, like it's crazy, right? I don't know those specifics. So I hired a coach for that, those second set of eyes, and I did really well. I mean, I won a lot of the local San Diego, LA competitions. And then I never had taken myself to nationals. And so I was like, I remember the first nationals, I was like, I'm going to go to nationals. And I was with my husband, and I'm like, I'm in Las Vegas at these nationals, and I'm like, honey, they didn't ask me my age. I want to make sure that I'm in the right age group. Come to find out, right as I'm going on stage, there was no age group. I was like, okay, it was on height. And I was like, oh man, I was literally 23 years older than the girl on the right, and 20 girl older than I was like, no matter how good I look, I'm not going to win this competition, right? So
that doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
because your body changes so much with age, right?
Oh yeah,
especially for women. Not that we want to say that, but it
does. It totally does. And like I said, no matter how good I look, I wasn't going to compete with that. And so I thought, well, what else is out there? And then I was about to stop dieting and stop training because the competition was over, and learned that there was, if I could wait 2 more weeks, I could train 2 more weeks, diet 2 more weeks, and compete in Pittsburgh at the IFBB Pros in Pittsburgh, which is where I'm from, right? Johnstown.
Okay, yep.
My parents could actually go see, my family could see, and they had my category over 50. And I was like,
yay,
I'm in. So, I went there, and was a really long day. I can remember just like, they're always like, be ready to go on. And I think it was probably 13 hours later.
Oh my goodness.
And you're like depleted, and you don't know, like, I'm backstage like, how's this going to work? And I was just more worried about my parents, like being they're older, right? They're passing out in the audience, or having to go to the bathroom and miss me. I mean, I didn't know what was happening. So, but long story short, I had gotten 5th place, which was amazing because it encompassed not only USA, but included Canada and the Mexican border.
Wow.
It was amazing. And then so I went back a second year and got 2nd place. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna win. And the 3rd year, I got 2nd place again. I'm like, where did you come from? The girl that beat me. So so it was really a great experience. And honestly, Linda, in the back of my head, in my mind, maybe I'll do fit over 60. I don't know. I'm just saying, it just hasn't really gone away. Still kind of a little have the itch, but my body is so different now, especially since COVID. Right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. So you look amazing. So a couple of things. I have never done a competition like that. To be honest with you, I have no desire, but I truly respect people that do that. If I'm going to do anything, it's going to be like a marathon, but I don't even like saying that out loud. But I totally respect people, because it's all about, and I think what you love about it is that you have the goal, and then you hold yourself accountable, which is also why you might want the coach. Which is why you might need the coach. That's why I would need a coach to keep me accountable. But is it true, these couple of things, the very small things I know about these competitions, you're very dehydrated at the end? Is that correct?
At the very end.
To make your
right?
muscles pop.
You
And do you
literally,
get to eat
you're
chocolate?
drinking two gallons of water a day, then you go down like to one, and then you're literally allowed to just rinse your mouth before you.
Oh my goodness.
But the coolest thing, and it really does happen, your skin becomes like saran wrap against your body. It just, and then it's just amazing. Like,
oh my goodness,
it's just amazing. Like you have to.
That is amazing. Speaking of that, just speaking of nutrition, I really respect that you talk to the end user in that Zoom call. So with my clients over Zoom, people were asking me about, what to eat. And it really bothers me when people say, what do you eat? Even with Instagram, I don't think that people should just look at Instagram and say, I'm going to eat exactly what this person eats in a day, right? It just, because every body is different, right? But with my clients, they were asking me for nutritional advice. And I was like, I'm going to bring on a registered dietitian to teach people about food, especially in today's day and age. There are so many different fad diets. And actually, fad diets have been around forever, right? But with the intermittent fasting and the keto diet, there's also so many diets. I read
through all of the whole list in that PowerPoint, just because eventually you can try them all, but eventually you're looking for something sustainable long term. That's it.
Exactly. I think there's actually a new show on YouTube. It's Will Smith trying to get in the best shape of his life, because like all of us, he's gained weight through COVID. So he's trying to lose weight. I'm only 2 episodes in, and they're only 20 minutes. So don't judge me.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. But he looks good now, so it must have worked. So,
and even so, to be honest with you, like his overweight is not overweight for a lot of people, but he's overweight for a celebrity, I guess. But you know what they said, a lot of diets work. There are a lot of things that you can do that will work, but is it sustainable? So I'm sure that nutrition talk that you gave them was very good. And sometimes people are just looking for the magic bullet. We know that. And it's about consistency, eating right, and moving your body.
right.
So let's talk about Extreme HIIT Chaos. You are one of the creators of Extreme HIIT Chaos. I think it was your brainchild, but I know you also share it with Mindy, and I hope I say her name right, Ayla, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that contributed. So tell us how that came about. I think from my perspective, you taught the masterclass to us at Xavier maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And just so I can give you my little tidbit, when I took it, I liked it, but I thought, I'm never going to teach this because it's too confusing. There's too much going on. And I don't think that I'll be able to teach this as an instructor. Fast forward to me getting certified in it, and my clients absolutely love it. And I love teaching it. So sometimes you have to take that jump into it. I love that it offers something for everybody. So how did you create Extreme HIIT Chaos?
Yeah. Well, thank you for loving it, because I love it too. And I think when you teach something initially, even as the creator, and I knew the vision, it didn't, for me, I didn't teach it as well as I teach it now, right? Like I've learned, what to do and what not to do, even as a presenter. And so when I taught it to what we then called master trainers, to the program specialist Xavier, it was new to me, and I wouldn't teach it like that now. So I think too, when you got certified, it morphed a little bit. Not that the format had morphed, but the way that you cue it. And I never really thought, oh gosh, I don't need to listen to, in a workshop or a seminar or session, people are like, let me talk to you about the cueing. Well, this is one of those things that you really do need to cue differently. Like you really do. I never really thought that was that important until I put this into the chaos session in PowerPoint, because it changes everything. And to give people too many options, like probably what I did when you first taught it, was a little overwhelming. And I got that. I understood better as I taught it longer and more frequently how to cue it, because that does matter. If you give people too many options, they're like, peace out.
I love that, because I think that was my first sort of impression, that I thought I might be confused or they might be confused. So yes, when I took the actual certification, I was like, okay, I can totally teach that. And I think that's really, I think that and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to say something that's really important that we'll probably talk about later. I think that even though we have been in this industry a long time, we can still learn new things. Right? So you came
Absolutely.
up with an amazing format, but then letting it evolve and letting yourself learn that, okay, maybe the coaching needs to be a little bit different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even when I taught that masterclass on the beautiful mountaintop here in California, I
So
was
beautiful.
new. I was new to then to try to teach it. So in fact, I've had some people call me out, like, why did you do this? Like, I'm gonna like, because I didn't, yeah, and I appreciated it, right? If I have a chance to do it again, I'd love to retape it. But not that it was horrible, but I know I learned a lot of lessons, and from watching myself, I learned some good lessons as well. So yeah.
Uh, First of all, I thought you were amazing. I watched that entire thing. What I saw from that is how excited you were. You know what I mean? I thought
Yeah,
that was, I could see how excited you were. It's in your passion. So
I love it.
I
I
don't,
love it.
I didn't see any of that. I
Thank
thought it
you.
was great. So because we just talked about that, because what I really wanted to talk to you about is, you and I have been in this industry a long time. We are simpatico, right? And we're still here, and I think we're still simpatico. You said that you got certified in '86. I think I started teaching classes, high impact aerobics, in 1986. I actually didn't get certified until after I graduated college, so maybe 1993. I was in a good club that trained me, just to defend myself for not being certified, that
Okay.
trained me
Yep.
and mentored me. And then I got certified. But we have been here a long time. And I would like to think, and not even, oh, we're still crushing it. We're still here. We haven't got burnt out, and we haven't quit. And there's plenty of people that move on and do different things. But I think that you especially, we've learned to evolve with the industry, do different things. I'd like to think I wear different hats also. I like to talk to fitness professionals. I like to train and mentor fitness professionals. We both do some programming, and there's a lot more than just moving our bodies in. What does somebody say? We do a lot more than just jump around in latex
Yeah,
tights, right? There's a
for
lot more
real.
planning. I've been working on workshops, on PowerPoints,
Mhm.
so there's a lot more to it. But what is your best advice to maybe new instructors on
Mhm.
how they can have a great, successful career, whatever that means,
Yeah,
and still evolve in this industry?
yeah. I think for me, and even to this day, even up until yesterday, um, I'm a good resource because, like I said, I can create good relationships. I go to conferences, the international conferences. I make myself I almost force myself to have these appointments with people. And this last one, I was just in Ursa. I met with the CEO of Golds, the CEO of World. Like, I was meeting with people that normally, and as an instructor, I mean, who am I, right? But like, I had these meetings by myself, which, you know, I think the thing to remember is that you need, number one, you need your own little board of directors. You need your little support system outside of your family in this industry that are constantly like, you can go to them, like, and go to you, Linda, and say, like, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Right? I have those people in my life. But honestly, just note that the road that you're going to take, especially in fitness, as much as you try to make it like this, it's going to be like this, right? Like, and I just let
Yes.
things happen. So for me, it's like squirrel, which works for me because I'm doing something over here. Oh, really? Something over here? Oh, okay, let me do that. And I'm doing that, which makes me have longevity, which makes me continuously pivot, which I call myself Madonna because she's always reinventing herself. I feel like that too. Like, I can reinvent myself in the industry. Look, here I am right now learning kids club programming. I'm reading kids club. I'm a youth program specialist this year at 57. Like,
Yes. Yes.
yay, right? It's just a constant, right? Find what you like, of course, which keeps you going, which is why you haven't burned out, which is why I haven't burned out. I've never burned out, ever. And I don't
Right.
think I will, just because there's just so many options. It's the sky's the limit when you're in this industry.
Right, right. I like what you just said, because I wrote this down too. because that's the way I feel. I will keep doing this as long as I love it. And for me, it's usually a different format. 5 years ago, it was bar. I never thought I would teach bar. I do love teaching bar. And then Extreme HIIT Chaos comes along. You have to teach formats that you love. And this is a quote, but I won't get the quote right. You have to do what you love. If you don't love if you don't love what you're doing, you're probably not doing your best work. Doesn't
I
that
love
make
it.
sense?
Yes.
Like I think it's a quote and I don't know who has said it, but if I don't love teaching this format, I'm probably not going to be that good at it. I think I'm good at bar and I think I'm good at Extreme HIIT Chaos because I love the format. It shows my passion. So definitely keep going towards, and I just love that you said the squirrel thing, because I feel like you look at all these things that are like, stay focused on your goal, have a strategic plan. And I'm always like, I don't know if I have a plan. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times something popped up and then I run to it. So,
And that's
within
okay.
reason.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Right.
I
Within
just
reason. I'm still like, you're focused and you're on that goal. It's not that I don't have a million different things going on. But I love that you said that, because especially with this industry, if an opportunity comes up, you have to run towards that. And maybe something else goes on the back burner.
You know what, Linda, too? I think I'm going to add on to that. I never stop looking either. Like I'm pretty content, but I also I'm like, just in case I want to know what's next. So you just don't stop looking, right?
I love that. I love that.
A lot out there. There's so much out there.
I love that. Well, thank you, Carolyn. I'm so glad that you joined me. Honestly, I love you. I idolize you, your programming, your classes, your spirit. I love that. I would love to get together with you again in person because I was saying that the reason this came about is Carolyn and I sat down in Boston and she was just telling me a lot about herself. And I was like, I just think she's a very interesting person. I think you're a very interesting person. You have a very, very good heart. And I appreciate being on your team with Extreme HIIT Chaos. So if any of you out there want to get certified in Extreme HIIT Chaos, hit us up. You will not regret it.
Yeah. Yeah. Linda, thank you so much. All the best to you and your YouTube channel and all your teaching and your IG. Everything that you're doing is fantastic. I love that you're reinventing yourself.
I try. Thank you.